Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is Jonny Guarco from Real Life Trading Military. Thanks for joining us. We have a great treat today. We have Mark Smith in the house to talk to us about how he got involved in trading, and I'm really anxious waiting to hear his story. Mark, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Jonny. Glad to be here today.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Hey, before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure can. So I'm 46 years old. I'm in the Army, so that's the branch. And then I'm at about 27 years of active duty, a little bit of National Guard time. As you said, I'm stationed in Germany. Been here a couple of years, still have a couple of years left to go, and enjoying that. And so I've spent, as you can see behind me, the flags on the wall kind of depict what I've spent most of my time in the Army doing, and that's jumping out of airplanes. So 6 deployments to go along with that.
Wow.
A few to Iraq, a few to Afghanistan, and some other places. So my job background, I'm in field artillery on the forward observer side. So kind of have been able to see a lot of unique organizations, anywhere from infantry to cavalry to aviation to artillery units, and
Wow.
And worked at all levels from the platoon all the way up to the division level. And I've had a great time, and wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
That's awesome, man. What a career. Whew. I mean, from another brother in arms, I mean, thank you so much for serving your country, and especially all the things that you've done in the places that you've been. So what an awesome career. So along the way, somewhere recently, you got interested in trading stocks. Can you tell us a little bit about how that whole thing happened?
Absolutely. I've always had a little bit of an interest in the stock market, but it's never been accessible to me until recently. And so as a young, teenager moving into my 20s and 30s, I've always paid attention to how the stock market was performing, given economic conditions, et cetera. But again, never really accessible, not really having money as an enlisted service member. We don't make a lot of money. So not a lot of disposable income to save or invest. That's changed a lot now. But so enter pandemic timeframe, early 2020, everything locked down. We spent a lot of time at home. I decided that I was going to spend my time wisely, reading books, et cetera, and learning about the market. And so also had some money put back, decided that, I think we'd seen a market bottom in there about late March, early April of 2020. And so that was the time. So we put a bunch of money into the market, probably with the intent to invest, but I watched it every day, and it was very interesting to me. And so over the next few months, I just began to learn everything that I could about the stock market and about trading, to include buying stocks and selling stocks when I shouldn't, and seeing the profit sometimes and seeing the loss that I didn't want to see. So
yeah. So somewhere along the way also, you came upon real life trading. Can you tell us how that happened, and why did you decide to go with real life trading when there's so many other trading education companies out there?
Yeah, so I have been exposed to several different companies, I guess, that offer products, whether it be an alert service, investment advice, a news service. And so, yeah, I've tried all of these different tools and things. And I think I was looking for that one solution that was just going to show me the stock to buy or trade, et cetera. And of course, it's not that easy. What I really needed to do was educate myself. And so I listened to a podcast, pre-market podcast, generally every day. And they had a guest on there. It was a real life trading staff member. He was explaining something they were doing. I believe it was with credit spreads and basically generating a steady income. You mentioned real life trading. The podcast knew that RLT was founded, by Jerremy Newsome. And so those two things stuck out in my mind because I had heard of Jerremy before, and I had even read one of his books. And so
Wow.
I went straight to the internet. I looked up real life trading. And then it was there that I saw the good amount of like free training resources that were available. And so I dug into them and started doing the free trading. And I think it was after about 3 months that I decided that I would probably join the group, because in addition to offering the free resources, and it just seemed like it was a good organization from what I could tell, I'd also read several books that continue to talk about surrounding yourself with people who were wanting to do the same thing. Well, I don't have friends around who are wanting to trade and things like that. So joining a group of traders who are going to teach you and encourage you, I think, is a very important thing. And that was what I saw in front of me, and kind of made the decision pretty simple. So
yeah, great point. Our community is just unreal community of like-minded individuals who are digging into the stock market to generate another source of income. And it's just an awesome community. That's one thing that people really can't get a feel for until they come to reallifetrading.com and check us out. I think I know the answer to my next question, but I know time is a big concern, especially when you're in the military, especially when you're on active duty, especially when you're deploying. So can you talk about that for a second? Apparently, I mean, you are the epitome of somebody that I'm talking to. How does that all happen? Because we know that in the military, you put in a lot of time, right? So
yeah.
How do you find time when you're in the military to do your trading?
What I've found is we often overestimate what we can do in a day, and we underestimate what we can do in a year. And what I mean by that is when we look back after a month or 6 months or a year, we can easily see we could have done more in our time. But it's getting into, how we execute our day and lay out our schedule that we determine how we're actually going to do those things that we could have gone back and done in a year. So you have to, sit down and just figure out the time of day that you're going to devote, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour and a half. Could be spending your lunch break that you normally spend looking at Facebook. You can spend your lunch break, looking for trade setups or entering trades into your broker, et cetera. So it's just about time management on the daily level.
Yeah, I love that, about thinking about looking at the past year, and you say to yourself, gosh, man, I had so much time, when I go back and think about it, right? It's all about that discipline of using that free time to benefit yourself, right? To invest in yourself. So I really like that. So talk to me for a second about all these incentives now that our service members are getting, right? They, some really big re-enlistment bonuses. They get some incentives, right? Monetary incentives when we deploy. There's all kinds of other monetary, I was going to say gifts, but it's not a gift by any means. It's well-deserved incentives for different things. So talk to me about what you think that, maybe instead of people going out and taking that lump sum and buying a dream car or whatever it may be, maybe it's an M4 or, maybe it's a trip. What do you think that they should do with some of that money, Mark?
A lot of I'm going to say enlisted service members, just because that's, what I have such a close experience with, but sometimes getting those bonuses, it's first time we've had our hands on that sum of money. And so it's, instinctive that we want to go do all those things you talked about. But, that's instant gratification, but it doesn't get us anywhere. And so I think that, trading or investing. And so, of course, you got to learn how to trade in order to be able to use that to trade and make more money. But
Right.
wow, if I've had a couple reenlistment bonuses since I've been in the Army. And if I had known that I could use that and trade and grow it over time, probably faster than an investment, certainly faster than an investment. I don't know. I don't know where I'd be at today. But yeah, I absolutely think that investing or figuring out how to do something like we're doing with trading and just grow that money, because then you'll have all the money that you want or need to buy those cars and everything else.
Exactly. Right. So wouldn't it be nice? You want a Tesla, let's say, right? You get a big fat bonus for whatever reason. And wouldn't it be nice to take that money, keep that money instead of throwing it into a car, keep that money, trade with it, invest with it, generate income, and you can pay off that Tesla with the dividends of the proceeds of those investments. And then you take that, you put that towards the purchase of that car, and you still have your bonus or whatever incentive in the bank, with your broker, and it's continuing to generate income. So that was a great point. I appreciate that. What do you think? Here you are with a lot of time in the service. What do you think your future is going to look like?
Well, so I'm closing in on 30 years of service, and that means a lot of time away from family, a lot of holidays spent, away from home, et cetera. And simple things sometimes we don't have control of as service members, like where we want to live, not just location wise, but literally the house that we don't, get to live in that we want to. And so I want more control over my life. And I think it's best that I am able to do something that I get to control, and trading fits that. The lifestyle fits that. So I'm hoping to either be able to spend my days trading, or a portion of those days trading, and then go, do something else, spend that time with family, et cetera. But I think that trading allows me to have that lifestyle that I'm looking for, that definitely gives me full control and, of my time. So,
yeah. It's funny you say that, because I'm going to ask you, the next question. You almost answered it already. It's nice to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it, and not think about whether you can afford to do it or not, right? And an individual like you're going to have a great retirement. But depending on how you live, your dreams, your goals, you probably want extra income coming in. And what a great way to achieve that, by trading. And then you can have the time to do whatever you want to do and go wherever you want to go, but still have that income coming in. So do you really think that you can achieve financial freedom? And when I say financial freedom, I'm not talking about just having the money to buy whatever you want, but like what you said, the time to do whatever you want. You really think that through trading, you're going to be able to achieve that?
I do. I think I can. I've learned a lot in, the 2 years since I've really been more active in the markets. And I've learned a lot, really just kind of inadvertently, not even really being disciplined until very recently, with sitting down and, making a process for trading, following a plan, et cetera. So now that I have those tools given to me by Real Life Trading, I think it's only going to get better from here. I have about 2 to 2.5 years before I retire. And so that's plenty of time for me to refine these processes, build the discipline that I need to stay focused, and then become a consistent trader. So I definitely think that by the time that I'm done with my service in the military, I'll be profitable, and I will be able to achieve the financial freedom that we all look for.
Awesome. Wow. So one more question for you before you go.
Okay.
As you know, we have a military mentorship within Real Life Trading. I lead that mentorship. You are actually in that mentorship right now. Tell me, what are your thoughts about not only that mentorship program, like, are you glad that you did it? What have you gotten out of it? And you know a little bit of where we're going in the future. Can you talk about those things for a second?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, I'm absolutely glad that I took part in the mentorship program. Absolutely, because I think it was the kick in the pants that I needed to continue to solidify processes, number one. And two, it gives me a tie into the RLT military community. And you have to surround yourself with people that are doing things similar to you, same mindset, et cetera. That helps build the potential for success even more. So you're not doing things alone. And so where are we headed? Well, we're getting ready to start, these meetups. And so I think that's great. So the military is already a tight knit community. Well, here we're going to put that in place right here in RLT military. And so we're going to have the military connection plus the trading connection. And I think it'll make us, better traders all the way around.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
What do you think about the actual process in the mentorship, the coaching? Because what we try to achieve there is actuality, like just that, a personal approach to help people from where they are and to progress to a certain point, to build that foundation of technical analysis so they can be independent traders on their own. Did you get that? Are you feeling comfortable now that you can go out and start trading and be consistent and profitable?
Yes, I absolutely did receive that. I went in, I started it with, some knowledge, some tools, but I think what the program did was it gave me more tools, and then it showed me how to use them, and how, not just how to use them, but how to use them together and put everything together. And so you go from an assessment early on in the mentorship of where you're at to receiving some good direction on how to use the tools and all that kind of stuff. And then also where to go from there once you've started moving down the road of being consistent, following your plan, et cetera. Like what's next? And so it brought a lot of things together for me. It brought a lot of things together that before the mentorship program started had just kind of been scattered and all over the place. And so I think that it just ties a lot of singular items together into a total package. And that was something I was looking for from the beginning.
Yeah, good. So thank you. I appreciate your insight on your career and your trading progression. Thanks for serving your country again. Just before you go, any last thoughts, ideas, any, bits of advice for anybody who's considering getting into trading?
Yeah, absolutely. Just do it. Take the plunge. We are our biggest obstacle. We hold ourselves back every day, whether that's fear, anxiety, hesitation. Put it aside and go after it. And real life trading is a great place to do that. So jump in there and get with it.
All righty. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. Really look forward to the trading with you, the friendship with you, and just spending, future time together. So that's one of the things that I love about real life trading is the community itself. We build these relationships with people that are just like lifelong relationships. And, sometimes like with you, you're halfway across the world. You're in Germany, I'm in Hawaii, and we've built a great friendship. And I would just really look forward to our future together. If you guys or girls want to check it out, there's no obligation. There's no tricks. Just go to reallifetrading.com, all one word, reallifetrading.com. Check out the website, check out the free courses. If you have any questions, go ahead and why don't you just email me directly? You can reach me at Jonny, JONNY, at reallifetrading.com. And we'd love to have you on the team, love to build a friendship with you, love to help you with potentially becoming financially free one day. And, you can talk to Mark Smith anytime, I'm sure. See if you had any questions for him, because he's the living example right now. And that's why I'm so excited that he came on the show today. But let us know what we can do for you guys. And we hope we hear from you soon. Hope you guys have a great day. Mark, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Thanks, Mark.